So we have the mystery of the Redstripe Cypress complex. Is it a lilac? Is it not? We've been talking about this now for years. Let's jump into it. We'll talk about why we think they could be a lilac and then look at the results of the babies. We have one of the wildest combinations of the year and we got some answers. Okay, so this is where the kind of mystery all unfolds, is right here. And this is the Cypress Redstripe. It is absolutely wild. And this guy is in shed right now. It's a big girl actually. This is Cypress Redstripe Yellow Belly. So for some weird reason, Cypress and Redstripe are pretty subtle genes by themselves. When you combine them, they make this crazy striped animal, which is absolutely insane. And sometimes when in the ball pythons, when you find that you combine two relatively regular things and you end up with this crazy, crazy weird combo, you might be looking at like a superform and a lilac combination. One great example of that is if you put a yellow belly with an asphalt. Very similar morphs, very subtle, but then you can make a freeway or a highway or whatever. So that's all kind of like on that same vein. So when I saw that snake, I actually was one of the first people to ever suggest, maybe the first, to kind of put that rumor out there that maybe they're a lilac. Maybe Cypress and Redstripe are in the same complex. And it's taken us a long time to kind of work through that and kind of figure it out. Here's another Cypress Redstripe that's not in shed. And just look at how just distinctive that morph is, that combo, because that huge stripe down the back, the rusty color. It's really one of the best combinations outside of the G stripe for making just a great stripe down the animal. And the color and the side pattern is just so unique. So this is what started all. And then a couple years later, we were able to make the first Cypress Redstripe clown that became the dad to our clutch that we're talking about today. So let's go check him out. So here is the very first Cypress Redstripe clown combo. It actually has leopard in it too. And I was trying so hard to make one of these because I knew the Redstripe clown stuff with the Pompeii and everything was so great. But I thought if we can get a Cypress Redstripe clown, it might be the combining of a fully striped animal with the Cypress Redstripe into a black-backed animal in the clown. Might be really, really crazy. And the reality ended up being a little more tame than we expected because he ended up looking like a clown with some really, really unique colors. That Cypress Redstripe gives it this really interesting tan and kind of like a bronzy golden look. But this is what we started out with, and I thought, well, if this is a lilac, then when I breed him, I'm only gonna get Cypresses and Redstripes, but I can't get the combo in there because you can only throw one or the other. Let's look at mom and then we'll check out the baby. Okay, and here's mom. She's a little mom. She only gave me a few eggs, but she is a inchy spot nose clown. And I actually think she was the world's first inchy spot nose clown too. It's a great, great combination, and it's actually the inchy spot nose is what gave us all of the cool snorkel type snakes with this little snorkel face or the gas mask look on the head. They're super neat, good color, and I thought, well, it'd be awesome to get the inchy and the spot nose into that Redstripe Cypress and just see what happens. Okay, so let's break down this clutch. There's some really cool babies here. The first one is a Batman, and this is just a regular Batman girl. Really, really nice pattern. You can see why it's such a transformational snake. When I first hatched the first Batman, I was just absolutely blown away that we can get such a crazy, crazy pattern on a clown that looked nothing like a clown, really. Now we've trained ourselves to understand like that's a clown pattern, a clown head. But at the time, nothing like this was possible from the clown project when we made the first Batman. It's really, really cool to see. Even all these years later, it's cool to see how crazy that is. We're going to build on that later in this clutch. Then we have a Cypress clown. Now this snake has not shed yet. For some reason it skipped its first shed. Sometimes they do that. I would say one in every 3 or 4 clutches I'll have one baby that just skips its first shed when the rest of them shed. Normally eats great, continues on just fine. So that is a Cypress clown. Love the maroons in that. What really brings it out is the inchy Cypress clown. This thing is really, really phenomenal. It's got a crazy little head pattern and just a beautiful, beautiful coloration. It's like this bronze with this bright rusty red. One of the most beautiful snakes in the clutch and one of the more simpler combos in the clutch. It shows you that sometimes less is more when it comes to some of these combos. It's just about finding that right kind of shade of genes. This Batman down here is trying to bite me the whole time. Okay, so here we go. This is the proof right here. This is the proof that Redstripe and Cypress are not a lilac. So in this clutch, we were able to make a Redstripe Cypress combo from a Redstripe Cypress clown. Now, for a lot of my viewers, may not understand why that means one thing or another. But basically, it just means that you can make a Cypress Redstripe with a Cypress Redstripe because it's not a super form type thing. So when it happens is when you breed these, they're able to split, and we can get Cypress Redstripes, Cypress Redstripes, and normals in the clutch. And so it just makes it a lot more versatile. It's actually a better thing for the project. And this one is I believe this is inchy Cypress Redstripe Leopard clown. So it's like the dad, only with inchy, which reduces the pattern a little bit. Still a very, very interesting color. Very, very tan, almost like it's almost a champagne color of the champagne morph, but of course with that clown pattern all the way through and the nice dorsal and everything. So what really, really was cool is when you take and add the pattern changing potential of the spot nose and leopard clown, of course, to make the Batman version of this. Let me put all these babies away so they can stop biting me just for a second, and then we'll pull out the best one. Okay, so here's the epic, just absolutely wild snake. I really didn't have any expectations for this combo, but look at it. It looks like a crazy jaguar or panther, just insane snake. Maybe a cheetah is the best thing, because it feels like it's just absolutely wild. So we have the Cypress Redstripe leopard spot nose. So this is a Batman, which we showed you earlier, the Batman with the Cypress and Redstripe together, and the result is just absolutely transformational. These crazy sides, the bright red spots all the way down. This doesn't have yellow belly or anything in it. I can only imagine if we can add yellow belly plus another brightening gene like fire or vanilla or you name OD or whatever, you name it, to this, it's going to really make this combo pop. One of my favorite, honestly, of snakes of the year, and it's not because it's the brightest or necessarily the prettiest, but it's just so weird and so different. And with these ball pythons, really that's what we're trying to accomplish. We're just trying to like create something that's very out of the box, and this one absolutely is that snake for us so far this year. Really happy with her. All right, guys, that's it. That's the whole story. We bring it to you as we discover things. It's really interesting to just get some answers on this stuff. Now we know that the Cypress Redstripe looks great together. We don't know why it's so reactive, but it's not a lilac. And that's a good thing for the project because it makes him easier to reproduce, easier to make these really cool combos. And now I'm even more excited about the other clutches we have coming from that complex this year. So thanks for